The leopard is a solitary hunter that can overcome a pack of foes through bravery and audacity. Here, wild dogs caught a gazelle and had already begun their meal when suddenly a fierce leopard appeared. Normally, the panther hides its presence, but this time it has a cunning plan. The leopard lunges at the dogs as loudly and spectacularly as possible to scare the opponents. It scatters a dozen enemies who flee in different directions. The leopard immediately seizes the prey and carries the gazelle, although it weighs as much as the predatory cat. With its catch, the leopard climbs up a tree far away from the enraged dogs who realized that they've been outwitted. If they had attacked a lone leopard, their numerical advantage would have helped them prevail, or at least defend their meal. However, the element of surprise made them retreat for a couple of seconds. And that was enough time for the leopard to steal its lunch. We'll show you today other instances where a leopard, through strength or cunning, triumphed over dangerous enemies. Leopards are so skilled at camouflage and stealthy approaches that they hunt not only herbivores, but also other predators. Here, a leopard spotted a serval and immediately switched to stealth mode. The serval is much inferior to its opponent, but can be extremely fast. If the leopard is noticed even a second before the attack, the prey might escape and hide. But the serval couldn't. The leopard pounced on the opponent, catching up with a couple of leaps. Certainly the serval resisted, but it didn't know who it was dealing with. The leopard pounced on its rival, crushed it, and seized it by the throat. Perhaps the serval could have clawed the enemy's eyes if the leopard had grabbed its trachea. However, the cunning predator used the size advantage, seizing the opponent by the nape and, with a powerful bite, broke its neck. A hyena approached the leopard's lair too closely. The scavenger is more massive than the young panther and has an incredibly powerful bite, but underestimating the leopard was a mistake. The cat doesn't care about the enemy's advantages. It fiercely and desperately enters the battle, charging at the hyena. A series of stunning strikes from the clawed paws stun the scavenger, unable to counterattack or defend effectively under such pressure. The leopard chased its enemy, threw it off, and beat it until the hyena finally panicked and fled. The leopard isn't immune to making mistakes. It's just exceptionally quick at correcting them. While enjoying lunch, a leopard's attention was drawn to approaching hyenas. The prey suddenly fell from the tree to the ground. A loss? Certainly not. The leopard immediately leaped down, picked up the meat, and ascended back into the tree before the hyena could capitalize on the situation. The panther's reaction speed is impressive. It's as if the panther was teasing its enemy. Such agility deserves your like, now does it not? Muscular and powerful in combat, the leopard possesses grace and agility that enables lightning-fast ambush attacks. Here, the panther managed to get close to confident herbivores. These gazelles can jump as high as human height and escape even from cheetahs due to their incredible maneuverability. But the leopard shouldn't be underestimated. It can transition instantly from stalking to a full-blown attack, literally exploding with energy. Perhaps if the herbivore had run as soon as it noticed the leopard, it might have escaped. Instead, the herbivore hesitated, choosing a direction to flee. The leopard executed a surprisingly swift and high jump, covering the distance in an instant. The prey didn't expect such a leap from the predator. The predator caught the antelope, which had just started fleeing, with a powerful saw swipe, immediately seizing it by the throat with its fangs, and the leopard's diet isn't limited to herbivores. Perhaps its versatility makes this spotted panther one of the most adaptable predators on the planet. For example, here it decided to go fishing. Why not? After the water level significantly dropped, trapping a lot of large and appetizing fish in this confined space, a large puddle. Of course, any terrestrial predator could catch them, as the fish couldn't resist or hide underneath these conditions. However, the leopard found it not by chance. While the cheetah, lion, and hyena follow certain patterns and previously practiced tactics, the leopard is constantly searching for something new. Furthermore, leopards can leap to the height of the first floor building almost without a run up to catch a small bird. Impressive, isn't it? Here, a leopard sneaks up on an eagle on the ground. To take off, what it does is that a massive and large bird needs to push off from the ground, making it vulnerable. The vigilant leopard intercepts the bird just in time, easily knocking it down at the start of its flight and preventing it from resisting with powerful sickle-shaped claws. In the end, the predatory cat dealt with the eagle in a matter of seconds without sustaining any injuries, although eagles usually fiercely defend themselves against enemies. But this leopard broke the bird's neck with such ease, as if you were peeling a banana. Deviousness and the ability to analyze situations adeptly served the leopard as effectively as its crushing strike force. Jumping speed, or suffocating bite. Why expend energy on catching a small bird when you can capture another predator hunting the feathered creatures? Here, the leopard noticed a jackal hunting birds. Catching flying birds is challenging, and it's evident to the panther that its target is a nimble, swift, and highly agile adversary. The jackal indeed possesses lightning-fast reactions, and one advantage the leopard lacks is endurance. If the cat misses and can't immediately catch and bring down the jackal, the fleet-footed foe will not only create distance, but also outrun the predator for an extended chase. The leopard can't afford mistakes. Observe how skillfully the predator stealthily approaches the target. The jackal turns its face directly towards the leopard, making it challenging to hunt from the chosen position of the spotted creature. Both adversaries have binocular vision typical of predators, meaning their eyes are in front of the skull, not on the side like herbivores. Therefore, it's easier for the jackal to spot the leopard, sense its presence, and to take cover in advance. This requires the panther's exceptional patience and endurance, and it succeeds. The leopard remains completely still, attentively tracking every move of the jackal. This opponent is 3 times smaller than the leopard in size and can't fend off the cat, but with fangs and claws it can inflict injuries. This is also unacceptable. Tension hangs in the air, but the jackal remains oblivious. Each step it takes towards the leopard brings the unfortunate canine closer to its fate. Finally, the jackal lunges for the bird, and at the perfect moment for interception, the leopard executes a swift leap. Effectively, the jackal unknowingly was moving right into the clutches of the invisible predator that patiently waited its prey right under its nose. From the jackal's perspective, the panther seemingly teleported right in front of it. The sudden and devastating strike knocks it from the paws to the ground, and the leopard acted decisively, quelling the enemy's resistance, evading retaliatory strikes, and precisely seizing the opponent's throat. The predatory cat broke the jackal's neck in a matter of seconds. In the grip of such a fierce, cruel, and yet cold-blooded predator, the smaller hunter proved helpless. It simply didn't know what it was dealing with when it embarked on this hunt. Sympathy may arise for the learning jackal, but you must agree the precision and calculated movements of the leopard are truly awe-inspiring. Even the largest and most dangerous snakes should not feel safe when a spotted panther is nearby. This python is approximately twice the length of the leopard. The snake relies on its impressive size and strength. Its tactic involves biting the cat, holding it in its terrifying jaws for a couple of seconds, and in that time, throwing coils off its body around the opponent. The python attempts to deprive the leopard of mobility, but the cat effortlessly springs away from the foe. Perhaps another creature would immediately seize the chance to retreat and escape, but the leopard assesses its strength differently. Here, it is the hunter and pursuer, and the massive and terrifying python is destined to play the role of prey. The snake just doesn't know it yet. The leopard boldly launches an attack, the python makes another strike, and thanks to the panther's lightning-fast reaction, it intercepts the massive head of the huge adversary. However, the adversaries have entered close quarters, and the reptile tries to execute the second part of its plan. If it can bring the leopard down to the ground, it will win. The python simply needs to cover the spotted cat with its weight to suppress resistance, then entwine and start strangling. If it manages to encircle the leopard's chest with a ring of snake muscles after each subsequent exhale, the python will tighten its grip more, leaving no room for the spotted predator to inhale. The leopard seems to understand the threat, so it fiercely resists. It shakes off the python's coils before they press the panther to the ground. The leopard maneuvers. It understands that victory over the python can only be achieved in close combat. Critical damage must be inflicted on the snake's head, fracture its skull, or damage the neck vertebrae and major blood vessels. To achieve this, they must fight at such a perilous distance. The cat leverages the advantages of its stature, utilizing all four limbs. While the front paw delivers a strike, the hind one assists in making the leap. Excellent coordination and lightning-fast reaction speed allow the panther to repeatedly evade dangerous enemy attacks, avoid being overpowered, and gradually inflict deeper and more significant wounds on the snake. And victory is achieved by the leopard with the exertion of all of its strength that it attains. Several times the cat narrowly escapes the python's fatal grip at the last moment. Any mistake could cost the leopard its life, but the panther doesn't allow such mistakes. Focused on the target, the leopard engages in a dynamic duel and triumphs over such a formidable foe. A massive python was crawling from the water to the thickets when the leopard noticed it. The cat understands it is dealing with a very dangerous adversary, but instantly decides to attack, and from the first advantage, comprehends how to fight. The python is shocked. It attempted to defend itself, make strikes, and bite, but it underestimated the enemy's reaction. The leopard easily dodges and delivers a stunning blow with its clawed paw to the snake's head, knocking it down. At first glance, it might seem wiser for the leopard to attack the python from the tail side. However, in that case, the flexible reptile could counterattack by sneaking its head toward the enemy. To strike from a considerable distance, the snake needs to contract its neck. Then the reptile, as if shooting its head forward, could propel itself. The same principle applies to battling involving the entire body. While the snake is stretched in a straight line, it cannot use its full potential and throw its massive rings around the enemy's body to strangle it. Therefore, the leopard deliberately employed a riskier tactic, striking and attempting to bite the python's head. This bewildered the snake. It was focused on its own jaws and the futile attempts to bite the audacious cat and grab it with its teeth. As a result, the reptile simply forgot about its main weapon, its massive body. Consequently, the python never coiled itself into a live spring, didn't manage or couldn't make a long-range strike, or even safeguard its elongated body from the relentless attacks of the predatory cat. Meanwhile, the leopard draws the python along, causing the snake to stretch even further. The leopard didn't even attempt to engage in a wrestling match with its legless enemy. After several precise strikes with its claws on the reptile's skull, the prodded predator seized the snake's head firmly with its fangs. The leopard's jaws clamped on the back of the snake's head, preventing it from retaliatory bites as the snake couldn't reach the enemy. The leopard's teeth crushed the snake's neck vertebrae, choked it, and wounded its soft skin. Simultaneously, the leopard continued to back away and stretch the snake with its own efforts. The mighty body and long tail of the python helplessly drag on the ground and cannot be weapons in this battle. After losing the ability to apply constriction, the leopard easily finishes it off. This is how knowledge of the enemy's attacks, intimidating prowess, and agility helped the leopard effortlessly deal with one of the planet's most fearsome cold-blooded predators. One of the most epic and famous scenes involving a leopard that has been captured on camera. It's widely known that these panthers despise dogs and engage in daring attacks on them. However, this powerful scene is especially impressive because the leopard attacked not a caravan moving through the forest with dogs, nor a village where a dog is tethered outside. The leopard infiltrated a multi-story building, and all of this just to deal with this sleeping Labrador. Like most wild animals, the spotted beast avoids humans and, even more so large populated areas. But this is a unique case. Under the cover of night, the leopard entered the city and stealthily made its way into one of the residential buildings. A relatively large and strong dog slept on the staircase landing right at the owner's house's threshold. In any case, the leopard is taking a considerable risk. The dog is large and nearly equals the wild predator in terms of mass and size. But most importantly, the Labrador can make noise, and then the leopard will be trapped, as people with means of self-defense or large domestic animals reside on upper, lower, and current floors. But the leopard doesn't care. It takes a staggering risk to deal with this detested dog. Is it perhaps personal and the panther tracked it down and is now attacking its old nemesis? Or did the leopard just decide to hunt some dogs as an extreme form of entertainment, testing itself and its capabilities? Maybe the leopard is entirely here by accident, just seeking free food but couldn't resist attacking the sleeping dog. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. In any case, the leopard easily reached the Labrador within striking distance. Then the camera captured the fatal strike. The leopard moved incredibly fast, leaping onto the prey with its entire body and sinking sharp fangs precisely into the victim's neck. The dog tried to fight back, blindly thrashing with its paws, twisting and struggling. However, the leopard forcefully threw the dog to the ground, seized the throat, and the desperate cry for the domestic's pet's help choked. Now in the steel grip of the mighty leopard, the Labrador couldn't make a single loud sound, let alone fend off such a devastating attack. The leopard subdued the enemy's resistance, immobilized it with its paws, cut off the oxygen supply, and then finished it off by crushing its trachea. Amazingly, new videos keep emerging showing bold leopard attacks on residential houses, yards, and cities just to hunt domestic dogs. Here, a wild predator climbed onto the balcony of a multi-story building where a dog was resting. The dog, not asleep, made noise, but no one came to help him since there were no owners in the house. The dog tried to hide, but the leopard pursued, drove the opponent into the garage, and finally caught up with the dog behind a car. It's clear how effortlessly the leopard carries its prey the same way it entered the house among humans. The panther gripped the still-living dog by the throat with its teeth. The dog couldn't resist and simply hung on the opponent, gradually being choked. Even numerical superiority doesn't help the dogs. Here, the leopard suddenly burst into the inner courtyard of a house where 4 dogs were already resting. It seems the panther either premeditated the attack tactics or possesses such quick reactions that its improvised actions appear planned. It instantly caught one of the dogs, seized it by the throat, forcefully broke its neck, and carried it away. The remaining dogs couldn't react in time. They chased the enemy but couldn't do anything. Seizing and abducting one of the 4 dogs right from the human dwelling's courtyard turned out to be as simple a task for the wildcat as you opening up a can of soda. Here, an outdoor surveillance camera captured a similar situation. Dogs across the street bark loudly, warning their peers of danger or instinctively reacting to it. Therefore, this small courtyard resident is alerted and on guard. However, the small dog stands no chance against the fierce leopard. So when the dog realized an uninvited guest was approaching its yard, it immediately vanished from the frame. The bold wild predator effortlessly leaped over a more than 7-foot-high fence, then explored the yard. The dog couldn't escape far, and the leopard quickly tracked it down, rushing forward to where the victim had fled. We don't witness the struggle, but it's evident that the confrontation didn't last more than a couple of seconds. The leopard reappears in the frame with the defeated dog in its jaws. With the prey, the wild beast effortlessly leaps back onto the fence and disappears into the night as it arrived. The burden didn't slow the panther down in the slightest, and here the leopard discovered a wild African cat. The Spotted Panther feels no kinship towards it. The cat dozes directly on the ground, relying on its camouflage. This small predator has sharp hearing, vision, and smell, making it extremely challenging to stealthily approach, but the leopard should not be underestimated. Just notice how skillfully the large animal stealthily approaches the enemy. The hunt must go perfectly according to plan. Every movement, every step of the leopard is calculated. The cat moves completely silently while attentively observing the behavior of the cat. The smaller cat suspects nothing. The leopard is fixated on the prey. It seems that if one were to carefully approach the leopard during such stalking, it might not even notice and allow itself to be petted from behind. This is a real Asian belief that attests to the leopard's incredible concentration on its target. No, by all means, it's not worth testing this legend in practice. The wildcat rises, and the leopard lunges into an attack. The prey assumes a defensive stance, directing claws at the enemy on all four paws. The leopard doesn't care. It finds a loophole in the opponent's defense, pounces on it, putting its weight onto the strike, and easily protects its eyes from the desperate foe's sharp claws. The leopard overpowers and chokes its opponent. Which scenario in which the leopard demonstrates its ruthlessness and strength surprised you today the most? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. That way we'll be able to see each other much more often.